Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Oh, that was actually not too bad. I'm really impressed, but we're going to do it again with even more ruach, even more spirit on this incredible, beautiful, sunny day. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos from Yima'im. Welcome. We are so excited that you're here today, this morning, at Congregation Beth Shalom Lord Tzedek to help us celebrate Shabbat, the Sabbath, the day of rest. And as if that's not enough to celebrate, we also are here for the bonus reason of helping Leo mark his new status as a bar mitzvah, a son of the commandments, or as we like to say, a Jewish adult. So throughout our service this morning, Leo's going to be participating in all kinds of new rites and rituals for which he's now eligible as a bar mitzvah, and we'll be explaining them and noting them as we go along. We we are going to be praying together from this Sidur, this prayer book, which hopefully you all have a chance to grab on your way in. Many of them, it's going to be a little confusing, but you'll get used to it, have 2 page numbers in every corner. And as I announce page numbers, or Leo announces page numbers, you're going to follow the one in the brackets. Okay, that's the page number you're going to follow. We occasionally like to clap in our songs, and we hope you'll clap along with us, otherwise we don't also doing it by ourselves up here. And I also remind you to please turn off your cell phones, silent them, and just be in this wonderful moment with all of us. We're going to start our service with something called a nigun, which is a wordless song which allows us all to put our own spiritual thoughts to the melody, and it's easy to join in. Amen.
We continue on page 192.
Don't let me fall as the stone falls upon the hard ground, and don't let my hands become dry as the twigs of the tree. When the wind beats down the last leaves, and when the storm raises dust from the earth, with anger and howling, don't let me become the last bride, trembling, terrified on the window pane. Don't let me fall. I have asked for so much, but as a blade of your grass in a distant wild field, let's drop a seed in the lap of the earth and dies away. Sow in me your living breath as you sow a seed in the earth.
Baruch atah Adonai, rofei kol basar u'machli la'asot.
Elohai neshama shenatata li tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata li tehorai. Elohai neshama shenatata li
Page 197.
Matter is never destroyed, only transformed. So too can the soul evolve, higher and higher, from instinct to inspiration, hardiness to holiness, selfishness to service, from individualism to unity, to join with the soul of souls, the Infinite One, as the soul is magnified and sanctified, so is the Infinite One exalted.
Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai v'ruach kol basar ish. Starting on page 198, we have a group of prayers called Nisim B'chol Yom, the miracles we experience or we pray we will experience every single day. Leo is going to be chanting these blessings in the Hebrew, and you are welcome to join him. And I'm going to alternate with the Hebrew and English translations, and you are invited to read with me as well.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'zechariah, melachim ben yom ben layla.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who frees the captive.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who lifts up the fallen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rakach ha'aretz al chamayim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamakim mitzvah hagaver.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who strengthens our steps.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish shalomim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who clothes the naked.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten le'aim yigdura.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives strength to the weary.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir shivra minai, u'tnuma mi'afakai.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzalachim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of God.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asani ben kolim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oseh Yisrael b'vivruah.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who girds Israel with strength.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, otir Yisrael b'tfurah.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who allows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with the words of Torah. We continue on page 206. These are the things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the Lord. While the principle remains in the world to come, they are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted to prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. We continue on page 218.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
We continue on page 224. Please rise.
Amen.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorah Le'olam Va'ed.
Page 228.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy, you illuminate the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness, you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you form them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the life you created, may they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may swiftly nail its radiance. Praise to you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights.
Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai, O God, gracing us and surpassing compassion. On account of all forbearance, whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, be gracious to us, teaching us well, O most Lord. Have mercy on us, by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah.
כי אל פועל ישועתה ובנו בחרת וקרבתנו לשמך הקדוש על באמת להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בנו ישראל באהבה
Shema Yisrael Adonai Please be seated. We continue on page 234. ואהבת את אדונך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבנך ושמעתם לבניך ודיברת טובם ושמך ביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושכנך ובמאך ושכם להיות חלקך והיו מטרות בין עיניך ובלכתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו את ספרת מצוותיי קדושים לכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
We continue on page 239 in the middle of the page, reading responsively.
Is that you alone? The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asked God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
We continue with Tefillah on page 242. Please rise. Adonai sifataytika ufiagi tefilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, 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 Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagimor V'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gonei Hasadim Tovim, Rekonei Hakol, V'Soter Chatzei Avot V'Navot, U'Me'Geulah V'Yivnei B'neihem, L'man Shemo V'Ahavah, Melech Lozer Moshe Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ei Abraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayem Hakol Hatara Le'Moshiach, Mori Atah, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayem Hakol B'Rahmim, Somech Noflim Ve'Ve'Konim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emtunato, V'Yeshem Afar, V'Chamocha B'Gemuros, U'Midom Melach, Melech Minit, U'Mekayem, U'Masiyach Yeshua, V'Man Atah Le'Otako, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayem Ha'ol. Mekadesh et ha'olam, Yeshem shemati shemot, Tovish ve'mano, Dakatu Mayan Nevi'echa, Bechagaz Elzer ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzebaot, Melech haaretz kevodo. Adir Adirenu Adonai, Adoreinu Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol haaretz. Baruch Kevod Adonai Mirakomo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu v'hu Yashvienu, v'rachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem,
250.
Shabbat.
dear friends, we now come to a very exciting part of our service. It's called Seder Kriyat Torah, the part of our service surrounding the reading of the Torah. And this part of our service begins in your Sidurim, in your prayer books, on page 362. There will be a number of family members participating in this part of our service. In just a moment, I'm going to invite up Quentin Kokowski and Ralph Insinius to help us open the ark. And then, a few moments later, after we take out the Torah, there will be a tradition called Shalshelet Kabbalah, the chain of tradition where we are going to symbolically pass the Torah through the generations, culminating with Leo accepting it this morning. And to help us with that, at that part of the service, will be Dave and Janice Sieser, Quentin and Kirsten Kokowski, and of course Leo. And then following our hakafah, following our parade with the Torah around the room, Dave, Sieser, and Kirsten Kokowski will be helping us to undress the Torah. So again, page 362, and Ralph and Quentin, please come on up. Everyone else, please rise. You can stay up here. And now, Dave and Janice and Kirsten, please come join us on the bima. Torah as his own this morning. And we're going to pass it all the way down. So now that Leo is holding Torah as a bar mitzvah, as a Jewish adult, we notice the Torah is quite big and quite heavy. And I think that's really emblematic of the weight of what it can mean to be not only a Jew, but also a Reformed Jew. Because as a Reformed Jew, we learn the traditions, we learn the mitzvot and the commandments, and we make choices for ourselves of what is meaningful to us. And I know that that's been very, very important to you, Leo, the idea of choice and of studying and learning and then saying, what is my Jewish life going to look like? So as you hold the Torah today, I hope that's part of what you feel is both the beautiful tradition that's been handed to you and your ability to make it your own. We'll continue with our Haftarah. In which language is the Torah written? Hebrew, 10 points, excellent. It is written in Hebrew. Often we'll get Aramaic as a guess, which is a very smart guess, so ultimately the answer is Hebrew. Aramaic does pop up in our service, most notably in the Kaddish, or the Chatzi Kaddish, and it has little appearances throughout the Bible and other sacred texts. But the Torah itself is in Hebrew. Second question, ladies and gentlemen, is in which direction do we read Hebrew? Right, we read from right to left. A lot of you got that correct, so y'all get 10 points. So yes, we read Torah from right to left. So let's think about that for a second. Our students, as they prepare for their bar or bat mitzvah celebration, the plural is b'nai mitzvah, they are learning throughout the years of their religious education brand new characters, which of course you've seen throughout the prayer book this morning. They're learning to read in a direction different from the other languages they're studying, most often English, correct? And then, as if that's not challenging enough, the Hebrew in the Torah is only consonants. It predates the crazy modern inventions of vowels and punctuation. And instead, it's only consonants. So to give you a hint of what that's like, picture your first name and remove the vowels from it. How would anyone know how to precisely pronounce your name? Leo. Just got it. It could be anything. And so, unless, when we see that L in that context, we're so familiar with it that we know that that's going to mean Leo, right? That's how familiar with the text Leo has had to become. Where he can look at a column of just Hebrew consonants. He can know how to pronounce every word, where every sentence begins and ends, and even how to sing it, how to chant the particular words of that line. It's an incredible accomplishment. And we already wish you a mazel tov on reaching this point. We're all so proud of you. And so, the third and final question on your pop quiz this morning is, what is the name of this week's Torah portion? This is a hard one. You get bonus points for this one. It is, in fact, in your program. Not drop. That will explain in a little bit. It's a lot of syllables. Yes. Beha'alottecha. Excellent. Yes. So you get 20 points for that. Even for trying to pronounce it. So Beha'alottecha is the name of this week's Torah portion, and that's a lot of syllables. It's one word, one Hebrew word, but there's a prefix, and there's a suffix, and then there's a particular verb form that actually means when you lift it up. And it's going to be referring to, in that very beginning of the portion, Aaron lifting up the 7-branched lamp, Ner Tamid, that is being lifted up in the holy space of the tabernacle or the temple. But Leo's going to be reading from a different part of the portion. If you happen to have a chumash, do any of our students or other folks mind passing out some of the chumashim? It's a maroon book that contains the text of the Torah in it as well as translation. Thank you for those who are going to help pass these out. We'll give you a second. And just flag folks down if you're interested in following along, and they'll give you copies. This book, the maroon book called Eschaim, contains the 5 books of Moses, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. In our annual reading of Torah, we are currently in the book of Numbers, meaning we're getting closer to the end. And of course, when we finish Deuteronomy, we rewind all the way back to the beginning and start again at Genesis in the very next moment. So we're in the book of Numbers. We have a few more coming around available if anyone would like. And we are on page 833 in the Chumash, 833. And we are in Numbers chapter 12. So page 833. And it's considered a great honor to be invited up to bless each reading of the Torah portion, each little bit that is read. We call it an aliyah. It's called an aliyah, which literally means to go up or to rise up, even in holiness, even though you're actually coming up literally to the pulpit. And so for our first aliyah, the Shabbat morning, it is an honor to invite up to the Torah at this time Dave Sieser, Janice Sieser, Corrine Sieser, and Ralph and Simeus. Please come on.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher basha banu mikal hamim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayered Adonai ve'amud anan vayamod petach ha'ohel vayakrach Acharon u'Miriam ve'etzeu shnehem.
So what's happening here in our text is Miriam and Aaron are chatting. And who are they? They are Moses' siblings, Moses' brother and sister. And this is a very strange incident where they seem to be gossiping about Moses' wife. And they say, they mention the fact that he married a Cushite woman, and we don't know what that means, why they're pointing that out, because the wife we know about, Zipporah, is Midianite. So who is this Cushite woman that they're talking about? So that's a question, but they're gossiping. And of course, Moses is God's chosen prophet to the people of Israel, and so God's not so thrilled that they're speaking poorly about Moses, even though it's just their sibling. So in verse 5, where Leo started chanting, God comes down in a pillar of cloud and stopped at the entrance of the tent and called out Aaron and Miriam, and the two of them came forward.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat Amet v'chai olam nata b'chainu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen.
It's beautiful. Congratulations. Give him your blessings. Stand right over here. Melinda. And now for our second Aliyah this Shabbat morning. Two people who I think couldn't be more proud. It's an honor to now invite up to the Bima Kirsten Popkowski and Quentin Popkowski.
Ta'amod b'tzad ela b'tali hasheni.
Baruch et Adonai Hamorah.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamorah Le'olam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torto. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Shimona Deborah im Yihye V'bi'achem Adonai b'mo'ech elav Efada b'chilom Arabilbo Loken Avdi Moshe b'chol beiti Ne'eman hu.
So God calls Aaron and Miriam forward, and God said, "Hear these my words." Listen up, you guys, right? When a prophet of the eternal arises among you, I make myself known to him in a vision. I speak with him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moses. He is trusted throughout my household. So here God is saying, Moses is not just any other prophet that I talk to. Moses is the most trusted, and essentially insinuating, how dare you say anything bad about Moses?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu
Yache Olam Nata B'Tehenu, Baruch Ata Adonai, Notein HaTorah.
Amen. So now we've come to this morning's third Aliyah, and this is a really special moment. In Jewish tradition, when you turn 13, on the morning you wake up on your 13th birthday, you are a bar or bat mitzvah. Just happens to you on your 13th birthday. It's kind of like in America when you turn 18 or you turn 21. There's new rights available to you just because of your age. Same thing in Judaism. You turn 13, you are now considered a Jewish adult, and you have Jewish responsibilities and obligations. So you might be thinking to yourself, well, if it just happens to you and you turn 13, why do all this? Why have this big service? Why have a big celebration or party? Well, as human beings, of course, rites of passage are significant to us. They are meaningful, and we appreciate marking them in meaningful and significant ways. And so the rabbis, noting that long ago, had a little debate. And they said, what's the very minimum? What's the very least that someone should do when becoming a bar or bat mitzvah to ritually mark this new status that they have? And it's this moment that they identified what Leo's about to do, blessing the Torah portion itself. And so in a sense, we have now arrived at Leo's big bar mitzvah moment. So it is a pleasure to call to the Torah for the very first time using his brand newly chosen Hebrew name, Leo Sieser.
Ya'amod, 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 Haskell ben Bitzal Ella Hashlishi.
Baruch Adonai Hamburah.
Baruch Adonai Hamburah Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamburah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bacha banu mechol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Pe'el pe' arabil bo, umar'eh v'lo, b'chidot, utmunat Adonai yapis, umadua lo yoitem, ledaber be'ivdi, b'moshe v'ihir, v'chir af Adonai bam v'ye'elak.
So with him, this is God continuing to scold Aaron and Miriam. With him, with Moses, I speak pet o pet, mouth to mouth, plainly and not in riddles. And he beholds the likeness of the eternal. How then did you not shrink from speaking against my servant Moses? And still incensed with them, the eternal departed. I kind of picture God just slamming the door. What's going to happen, that's really fascinating, and Leo is going to talk to us more about in a little bit, is it seems that Aaron and Miriam are the ones gossiping, but only Miriam is going to be punished. In just a few verses, Miriam is going to be stricken with snow-white scales all over her body, so ra'at. We translate it as leprosy in other places in the Torah, but really we see it seems to be more of a psoriasis, a skin condition, and she's stricken with it as punishment. Aaron is not. And so it's one of those puzzles in the Torah of what exactly led to this chain of events. What? I'm preparing for your Devar Torah. I'm setting the stage.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'torchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. When someone does something so well in services, it's not appropriate to clap. connection with God, with the divine, we take a moment to offer prayers of healing for those in our family, in our community who are ill. If you are praying for someone's health and return to wellness and you'd like to share a name out loud, you are now invited to do so.
Christine Lyons.
John Gordon. Right. And Delethea.
And Burl Bellows and Carrie Bellows. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'Imotenu Sarah Rivka Leah Rachel v'Yivarech b'Rapeh et Kol HaCholin Ha'ela. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel bless and heal all those who are ill. We pray, God, that they return to us soon with a complete healing of mind and of body and of spirit. May they experience a return to shlemut, to peacefulness, wholeness, and wellness. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, God, who cares for the sick. And let's say together, Amen. So Leo, you chanted Torah for us so well this morning, but you know, as well as I know, that everybody here, all adult Jews, are supposed to read and study Torah every single week. But Leo did it for us this morning. So we have a ritual called Hagbah, in which the Torah is lifted up and turned around so the text is shown to the congregation, and therefore you get credit for having read it as well. So your wonderful teacher, David Tillis, is coming up to be our Maggidiyah to help lift the Torah for us all, and then to help us dress the Torah, Dave and Kirsten are going to come back up. Everyone else, please rise. So in addition to our Torah portion, which Jewish communities all over the world are reading the same group of chapters from the Torah this Shabbat, we also have a corresponding Haftarah portion, which is that word that we saw in the program, Haftarah. And that refers to an additional reading which comes from the rest of the Hebrew Bible, almost always the books of prophets. This morning's portion comes from the book of Zechariah, or Zechariah, and the book, the prophetic text, links thematically back to the Torah text that is read for today. And we've asked throughout our history, why do we have a Haftarah portion? Why is there this additional selection attached to each Shabbat? And what we believe the reason is that there have been times in Jewish history when we've been under such oppression and such persecution that we've been forbidden from reading from the Torah, that it's been kept from us at fear of punishment. And so the Jewish leaders said, okay, we can't read from the 5 books of Moses, from the Torah, but we know that there are texts in the rest of the Hebrew Bible that will remind us of texts in the Torah, and we'll use them to keep those ideas and those concepts and teachings fresh in our minds, even if we can't be near to our most sacred text. So Leo is going to be reciting a blessing before his Haftarah portion. Then he'll be reading a part of the selection, including one of its most famous verses in Hebrew, and then reciting a blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'cha b'ni'im tovim v'atzah b'voichem hana'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habohel b'torah u'moshech Avdo u'Yisrael amo uvin v'yeh ha'emet v'atzedek. Then I said to the messenger who had been talking with me, "What are these, my Lord?" And the messenger who had been talking with me answered, saying, "Don't you know what these things are?" "No, my Lord, I do not," I said. Then he explained to me, saying, "This is the word of the eternal to Zerubbabel. Lo ba'il velo b'koch ki im biruki." Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the God of heaven's hosts. What are you, you great mountain, before Zerubbabel? You shall become a plain. He shall bring up the topmost stone, seeing it he shall cry beautiful beauty. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Sor kol chamayim, tzadek b'chol hadarot, cha'el hein aman, chamel voseh hamdaber, u'mkayim, shekol divrav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'ol havodah ve'ol hanvi'im ve'ol yom haShabbat hazeh. Shenitan lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktusha v'linula liktavod ufaz. Alcha kol Adonai Eloheinu anu modim lach umvahi otach yitbarah shimha b'fi kol he tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
Amen. Yasher koach. So you heard that familiar text. It should be familiar to many. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says God. It's also a very popular song that we like to sing. Debbie Friedman has a great version of it. It's Debbie Friedman, right? Not by my spirit, the ruach. Thank you. Next show to love. So this part of our service now, we are going to have a few readings read on behalf of our community, our country, as well as the state of Israel, which are found back in your prayer book, back in your Siddur, on page 376. And to lead us in these readings, it's an honor to now invite up Bernadette Nagy, Janice Sieser, and John Nagy. Again, page 376.
For our congregation, source of all being, may the children of this community learn these passions from us: love of Torah, devotion in prayer, and support of the needy. May we guide with integrity, and may our leadership be in your service. May those who teach and nourish us be blessed with satisfaction. And may we appreciate their time and their devotion. Bless us with the fruits of wisdom and understanding, and may our efforts bring fulfillment and joy.
Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha v'yirah na'avod.
For our country. Thus says Adonai, this is what I desire, to unlock the fetters of wickedness and untie the cords of lawlessness, to let the oppressed go free, to break off every yoke. Share your bread with the hungry. Take the wretched poor into your home. When you see the naked, give clothing and do not ignore your own kin. If you banish the yoke from your midst, the menacing hand, the evil speech, if you offer compassion to the hungry and satisfy the famished creature, then your light shall shine in darkness. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen.
For the state of Israel. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shielded beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. We are now going to turn back to page 374 for the return of the Torah to the Ark, and it's an honor to invite up to the Bima, Corinne Sieser, and Jennifer Francino. Everyone else, please rise.
Adonai,
Shabbat this morning, Leo has led us in prayer. He has read Torah, he has read Haftarah, and now he's going to teach us some Torah. He's written something we call a Devar Torah, which means a word or a teaching of Torah. And in it, he studied his Torah portion, discussed it, debated it, and came away with a very powerful message that he'd like to share with all of us today.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me, thanks to my tutor David who helped me learn everything I needed to learn as well as providing me very long stories. Thank you to my grandparents for providing the house which my party resides in and for being all around great grandparents. Also, I'd like to thank all the teachers in Mount Hakeem at Kavun. Lastly, thank you to More Belinda and Rabbi Bellows for the guidance and patience. In my Torah portion, Poshet Bich Ha, it says, Miriam is stricken with white scales. What's interesting about this to me is that Aaron is not stricken with white scales as well. Well, first we have to find out why she was punished in the first place. We read that God came down in a pillar of cloud. God comes down in a pillar of cloud after Aaron and Miriam questioned Moses' credibility and leadership. Miriam spreads rumors and gossip about Moses and how he married a Cushite woman. I perceive my portion as a message that gossip is hopeful and wrongdoing. One point that I got caught on, why only Miriam? Well, after great study, I realized that it never said Aaron gossiped or spoke about Moses, but that raises another question. Why was Aaron present at the punishment? My thoughts on that are that all people in a family, settlement, nation, or group, or clique should be held accountable for something that one of the members did. My reasoning is that because those members were bystanders, they did nothing to stop the gossip, or anything bad for that matter. Why is she punished so harshly, you may ask? Well, because gossip is one of the worst things of all. Gossip spreads lies about something, and gossip can ruin lives. To connect this to our lives, I wonder, has anyone played a game called Telephone? For all who have or haven't, it's a game where one person makes up a sentence or word and it's passed around a circle by whispers. At the end, people have a laugh as the sentences or word is twisted or changed, but there are real word implications. Some people like twisting and changing the truth to get laughs or attention. Say you went to a water park and you told your friend that you went, and your friend told all his friends. Over time, the truth will get twisted, and once it gets back to you, the story is now that you almost drowned at the water park. What does my bar mitzvah mean to me? It means I can take on life head-on like a raging bull. To my parents, it means I have chased after a goal that is in my heritage and so on. For my mitzvah project, I did something that may not relate to my point at first glance, but once we dig deeper, we can see the connection. I worked at Ray of the Light Farm, where I fed and groomed the horses. I realized that horses, or all animals for that matter, don't gossip, and they don't deceive you with their emotions. I hope that we can all take something away from today. I hope that we do not say malicious things, and that we do not gossip about other people's affairs. And shall we remember to keep each other's falsehoods from spreading, because sometimes lies are better hidden than revealed. Finally, let's all promise to do our best to live honest lives based in truth. Amen.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Now, y'all have soft, sweet, squishy things wrapped in plastic under your seats. Please shower Leo in sweetness. for personal blessings, Kirsten and Quentin.
So, Theo, early in his kind of journey of making, early in this journey, I think 5 years ago at this point, of making this one of our second homes, I read a book called The Blessing of the Skinned Knee. And the author talked about the concept in Jewish teachings that our children are not our possession, and that there really isn't even a Hebrew word for to have. And that we should never encourage our children to be anything but what they are. And you remind me of this and of who you are every day, because your confidence in that is so obvious to everyone you encounter. What you believe, what you think is right and wrong, what interests you, what doesn't. I don't think I've ever met anyone as true to themselves as you are. You worked so hard for this, and of course you did it in your own way. From the way you studied, to the way you approached your Torah portion, to your Mitzvah project, right down to the photo on the program. You never just took direction and went through the motions. You had vision and intention. And although your strong will may drive us crazy sometimes as parents, we know this is one of your great gifts to yourself and to the world. You're a natural advocate and a thinker, and you're kind and loving to people and animals. And you also have a great sense of humor. I just want to share a quick story of something that really goes to the heart of who I think Theo is. So about a year or so ago, we were driving in the car, and we were listening to a podcast, a political podcast, of course, for everyone listening. And you said something to the effect of, you know, parents don't mean to, but they brainwash their kids with their own political beliefs. And then their kids inherit those same beliefs. And you said, I've thought a lot about the ones you gave me, and although I agree with most of them, I understand that others are just believing their inherited beliefs from their parents. And 3 things really struck me in this moment. 1, you are always questioning and examining things for yourself and never blindly following. 2, you are thinking about the complexity of belief and family as a scientist or a philosopher would. And 3, you are doing all of this with real compassion and understanding for people that are raised and believe differently than you. Something we all, and especially me, need to be reminded. And these are the practices I know that you will bring, that will bring you to your greatest moments and help you through your toughest. I'm so proud of you and what you've given our family. And you truly moved all of us. So I hope you take this community, your teachings, your heritage into this next chapter of your life and beyond. So Mazel.
And now the blessings will continue with a number of gifts and blessings from members of our congregation. First, your teacher and really mentor, David Tillis, will be coming up to present you with some of your certificates, and then Ellen Nodelman, on behalf of the board, will be presenting you with a gift from the congregation, and then Stephen Davis, on behalf of our Torah study group, the Holy Scrollers, will be presenting you with a gift as well.
So I know you're not one for formalities, but some things really do deserve to be marked with a proper certificate. So here it is. Now you know you're official. And you get this, which says what we all know. You're wonderful. So a couple nights ago, you had called me up at about 10:30. asleep. And you left a message, which is how I know that you like me. And the message was, I see the tables are turned. So I'll leave you a message, kind of like yours. Look to your future, blah, 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 blah. Learn something, blah, 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 blah. So I got a few blah blahs to tell you now. I want to take you and just sort of hold you up and say, look, God, at what you have done. We misuse this phrase all the time because it gets trivialized, but this is you. You have a true heart. Mom said it even better than I would. You have a true heart. I think about the first phrase in your Torah reading, and God came down in a standing cloud and stood at the entrance of the tent. I actually felt that today. And I look at your parents and your grandparents and your aunts and your uncles. And, you know, sometimes it happens that all of this love of the family kind of reflects off of the girl and the boy is up here. And I just had this sense that it was in there. And it came out in this never-ending smile. And it's been years since we've had anyone up here just smile the whole time. And it was great. It was wonderful. But I have seen a change in you. So as your teacher, I get to watch you. And when this started, you were a boy with a good mind and a true heart, who thought very deeply and who felt very deeply. And you looked out and you saw this pathway, this gate of bar mitzvah, and it was like through a telescope backwards. And like way out there was bar mitzvah gate, and the closer you got to it, the more you realized how difficult it was. This was a challenge for you. And the remarkable quality that you brought to it and that it cultivated in you was courage, persistence. I think there were a few times that you were really frustrated and a few times that you were really worried. And here you were. You did this wonderfully. You are going to have other moments where the moment requires courage. At some point in high school, you're going to stand up for something or somebody who needs advocacy, and you're going to do it well when nobody else does. That's you. You'll do that. There are other moments of courage. Yeah, sometime a year or two from now, the great Crescent's going to be, should I kiss her? But I have this prediction for you, because this is you. 13 years from now, double your age, some brilliant bioengineers are going to figure out how to modify a puppy's mouth so that it can talk. Okay? And, you know, there'll be people who want to buy the technology, there'll be people who want to, you know, use puppies as spies for military purposes. And your PhD thesis that you are going to defend is going to be on whether or not morally it is a good thing or a bad thing to alter an animal to make it human-like. You have so much compassion. You have a presence here. I mean, there are people here that you know and there are people here that you don't know, and you just gather yourselves together. You are going to have that courage and that articulation that really helps the world to understand what it is to live by the Spirit, to have a true heart. It has been an unbelievable pleasure to teach you.
such a pleasure and a privilege to be here at the bar mitzvah. You know, I've been to a lot of bar mitzvahs in my time, and I can't think of anyone who's read as beautifully as you did. I was so impressed by the way you conducted the service, and look forward to hearing you, do things like that in the future. But my job today is to present you with a Kiddush cup. You know what a Kiddush cup is? Everybody come open up, show people what it is. And this is the traditional gift that we give, the congregation gives to our B'nai Mitzvot. And you can use it, at home, next Friday night. Anytime you want to sanctify the Sabbath, you can take it with you in future years too. When you leave home, you go and write out on your own. And I hope it will remind you both of the responsibilities that you're assuming today, responsibility to the Jewish ethic, and the pleasures of it as well. Because Kiddush combines both pleasure and responsibility. So Mazel Tov, you did a wonderful job. Thank you.
Mazel tov to you, mazel tov to your family and friends. It was such a pleasure to listen to you today. And I think that it's probably the best thing that it was your Haftorah portion with the prophet Zechariah, who had that wonderful statement, not by might nor by power, but by spirit alone. And it was your spirit that filled this room today. I know we all felt it. I felt it. It was, I think, you called it the raging bull, right? So it was wonderful because also what you did was you taught us your reflections about accountability. So you understood from the reading, the Torah portion today, what was discussed by God and by our ancestors 3,000 years ago, but you made it relevant to today and to your life and to the lives of all of us. And that's what we do every Saturday here and throughout the Jewish world when we study Torah. And so the Holy Scrollers is what, of course, we call our group. And you're very welcome to come and join and share your reflections with us each week. But what we do is to give you, as the bar mitzvah, the only gift that we really think is appropriate for this, which is the Torah. And this is not just a book like you would, say, borrow from the library and give back to the library, or buy at a bookstore and give away when you're done. This was a book that is our legacy, that was given to us, given to you 3,000 years ago at Sinai. You're actually in that book. We're all in that book. We were written in that book. And your responsibility that you've accepted today as a bar mitzvah is to take the learnings from those 3,000 years and make them part of today and to define the future with it. So, mazel tov. And we'll look forward to seeing you at Strollers.
Now, can't you believe we can say bless you on Sunday?
So what's with the other certificates? Give them a quick mention too. So, Leo, I get to stand up here at this moment and wearing two hats. I get the cantor hat, and I also get the Kibbutz hat. Kibbutz is our Hebrew educational program for our kids. And I know that this, it's one. I know that engaging in religion, maybe it has not been always the most attractive subject. No? No. Okay. attractive is not the right word. I'm going to go back to what your mom said about you being a scientist and a philosopher. And I think I would say that in this process, I am really honored and privileged that you agree to wrestle and engage with this idea of religion, in this case, with Judaism, which happens to be your heritage. That you didn't take anything for granted, and that you used your scientific mind and your philosophical mind, and you went in there and you went in deep. And you were pretty clear about the things that you wanted to wrestle with and what you didn't, what you thought was boring and not important. Yeah. And so that's what I'm talking about. That I am really honored and privileged that you didn't throw away the baby with the bathwater. That when you hit the spots that were maybe not relevant for you, that were not meaningful, that didn't jive with the concepts and beliefs that you have clearly built up, even as a person as young as you at this point in your life, that you were willing to continue on and kind of push through the muck and see what else is in there until you were able to draw out the ideas and continue asking the questions that were meaningful to you. And I give you a ton of credit for that. And I give you and your tutor, Lord David, a ton of credit for that. As Kibbutz is over at noon and I'm walking by and you guys are sequestered in a spot somewhere in the synagogue. Or I know that you were having your nighttime phone calls or meetings at whatever time of night that may have been. And they were, we our standard tutoring for bar bat mitzvah is usually 30 minutes every week for, a certain number of months. I know for sure that you guys did not follow protocol, standard protocol in what this process has been about, right? Probably not even close. So for that, I am really, really grateful. And your mom and David and Mr. Davis there said everything that is beautiful about you that there is to say. So I hope that going forward, you keep all, as Rabbi Bello said, all of these word gifts with you. All of these ideas about who you are, the things that you've come to learn about yourself, that you now take this and keep moving forward and keep on wrestling and integrating and combining. So I'm just going to mention that in this package of certificates is also a $250 gift certificate towards a trip to Israel with our youth regional organization, MIFTI, that I really, really hope you get to take advantage of someday. Because I know what that will continue to do in terms of expanding your horizons. As well as, if the mood strikes, there is a $50 gift certificate towards membership down at the JCC in New Haven. They have a lot of really terrific activities, rock climbing, swimming, and so on that who knows what I'm getting into. So this is for you as well. And mazel tov to you and your friends and family. And oh, by the way, Leo, my husband was here last night, and he commented, because he's here for all of our lots, pretty much, at least on the Friday night parts, and he said that he had never seen anybody so comfortable and just present and engaged as he did with your presence up here. So, thank you for that. Mazel tov.
Ready for one more?
If I have to.
Can I shower you with praise on just one more person? Who picked out this tallit that you're wearing? You picked it out?
Yeah.
I think it's a really profound symbol and metaphor for the experience that I've witnessed you go through. over the past number of years that I've had the ability to get to know you, as well as this process of becoming a bar mitzvah. You chose a talit. You know, the traditional talitot, are kind of white with blue stripes, and around the room you'll see some of us are in non-traditional ones that, are different designs. Yours has this gorgeous tree on both sides, and the Hebrew around your atara, around your neck, says, Etz chaim hi, v'machazikim bach, v'tomcheha me'ushar. Okay? So it is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it, all who hold it, find happiness. The tree of life. So first, this image of a tree. I think sometimes whether you like it or not, your roots are in the Jewish community, right? You have this grounding, these generations past, going so far back, who are Jewish. And it's in your cells, it's in your bones, it's who you are, it's in your soul, right? Those are your roots. And then you've got these gorgeous, colorful, vibrant branches that are going out in all kinds of directions. And that's where it's your turn to be a Jew, and it's your manifestation of Judaism that's unique to you, is that it's growing in all kinds of different directions that are unique to you, that are exploring different pathways, that are all kinds of, there's no one branch, right? I think from what I've seen in Torah study with you on Wednesdays, at the Camp Jewel retreats, you have your own path, your own journey, your own interpretation of our text, and I welcome it. I hope I have a chance to continue studying Torah with you, to continue wrestling with Torah with you, because I learned so much from you. I don't know if you realize that. Our tradition always says that there's 70 faces to Torah, that there's at least 70 ways of interpreting any particular text in the Torah. Because it's a living and breathing tree, Etz chaim is actually what we call the Torah, a tree of life. And you help us discover sides and aspects of that prism of Torah that maybe we never discovered before, and that we as a people have been waiting for you to help us discover. I mean that. This philosophical, scientific brain, which I think is so perfect too, we need that. We need the questioning, we need the wrestling. You help us understand ourselves and our world better, and you help us also open our eyes when we don't like what's going on in our world, when we're critical of what is happening. We want to make the world a better place, and you are so good at that too. You're so good at calling us and our government and our world on things that are unjust, that are not righteous, and you want to make the world a better place. And so, Leo, I pray that you do. I know we're in good hands because of you. I know the world is going to be better because of you. And I said to you before, I cannot wait to see where you go in your life, because I know it's going to be grand and great. And you are indeed going to repair the brokenness in the world and make it better and sweeter for creatures of all kinds. I pray that you are always blessed with health, goodness, joy and success, that you're always surrounded by such incredible family and friends, and that all of your wishes come true. Mazel tov. Camp Berlin and I now have the privilege of blessing you with the priestly blessing in front of the open ark. And so I'd like to invite everyone to please rise. May God We take a moment now in our service to pause and think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. On behalf of Leo and his family, we are especially remembering and honoring the memories of Harriet Mohill, Irving Sieser, Dorothy Berry, and Joel Berry. If you are marking a Shiva, Shloshim, or Yortzeit of a family member or friend and you'd like to share a name out loud, you are invited to do so now. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories always be for a blessing. Together now we join in the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shenei Rabbah, ve'alma yidrach l'irtei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayevonu v'yomechon v'chayei v'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shenei Rabbah mevarach ve'elam u'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei v'kudisha b'richu la'ela minkol birchata v'shirata tushvichata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba v'yishemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, to all the world, and let us say together, Amen.
And we will remain standing as we close our service this morning, as we began with a nigun, with a wordless melody, and it happens to be the melody of a song, a prayer that we do about peace, which is one of Leo's favorites, and that is how we're concluding the Shabbat. So,
Chubby faces.
Enjoy the rest of your celebration, everyone. This concludes our service.
It would have been.
I don't know. I have no idea. Alright.
Hey, oh my gosh, good to see you. I was hoping you were coming. Yes, yes. Hey, this is my boyfriend, Roy. This is
Hi.
Katie.
Roy. Nice to meet you.
Katie, nice to meet you. This is Devin.
Hi, Rory. Nice to meet you, man.
Yes, you.
I'd like to meet Carrie. It was wonderful. Right now, it's wonderful.
Maybe I ask about it.
I don't ask about you. No.
I'm like, where's Peter?
Because we ran into Jen at Home Depot. She was telling me about the
Get a raise, basically. Twice. Lots of time, everybody. You know. So we'll see you at. Okay, great.
We have to take a quick stop.
So do we.
Take care.
It's just,
Wait. Mom, you have ridiculous.
I just want people, I mean, if you use your GPS, it's going to tell you. I just don't want, I want people to take the happy valley.
This was way cool compared to mine. Yeah, mine was like a bunch of old guys here. It was like 45 minutes. It was, I was in that, and it was like, it was congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations for your mom.